going rough enough.
Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another League Tips video. In this tips video, we are going to be covering some of the basics in the middle lane. Now keep in mind, these are not all of the basics in middle lane. These are just some of the ones that I decided to choose for this video. So the three basic tips we are going to be going through in this video include how to properly ward your middle lane, how to take the enemy and ally wraiths, and how to properly leash for your allies. So without any further ado, let us begin with how to ward. Alright, so warding is a very important aspect in keeping your lane in control and winning it, and not being ganked by the enemy jungler and maybe even other lanes. But there's also a few other things that are important when it comes to warding. So first I want to show you this spot right here. Now putting it in this spot, out of the two spots you can possibly put it in this area, reveals the wraiths. This is a bit more of an offensive area to put the ward in because you don't see the river, but you will see when the wraiths respawn and maybe when the jungler is even doing them, so you can maybe go and take them, or you can steal the wraiths while the enemy jungler is doing them. This right here is the second spot to put it, right on the ramp. This is a bit more safer, but it's not as aggressive because here you will see the river and you will see anyone walking through the river and trying to gank you, etc. But you will not be able to see the wraiths and be able to steal them as efficiently and easily. One more note about the safer ward that I just showed, it also reveals the enemy middle lane, so you'll be able to see if he decides to take his own wraiths and or maybe go top lane to gank. So these two wards are the same concept as the other ones. That first one is going to protect your wraith camp, so maybe your middle enemy laner or the enemy jungler is trying to take them, or maybe the enemy middle laner is trying to run bottom to gank. This ward in the bush is about the same thing, except it's just covering another area, which is the river. So here's another example of how to put the wards down if you're on the other team, the purple team. So this is the first one, the aggressive one. This is the one that's going to be checking for their wraiths and maybe if you can go steal it or if the enemy jungler is doing them, etc. That's the safer one, the one checking the river and the path right above the ramp. These are the other two wards. This is the one you're going to be putting down to check and make sure that your wraiths are okay and that the enemy jungler or middle laner is not going to that path to gank top lane. And same with this one, but for the river area. Alright, so tip number 2 is going to be how to properly take the enemy wraiths. So when you take enemy wraiths, you want to make sure you play someone that can easily take them and not spend too much time doing it. You want to shove the lane, and this is if you're taking the enemy wraiths. So you shove the lane as fast as you can, and second you're done doing that, you want to move up into the wraith camp and you want to take them as fast as you can. This is where the enemy ward that I was showing you is very useful, the aggressive one, because this one you'll see if the enemy is even doing them, if it's even there, etc. And it makes it a lot easier. Also, a side note, I usually feel a lot safer doing this if I have flash up. If I don't have flash up, I'm a bit more wary. But keep in mind, ranged champions can do those raids while standing over the wall instead of going all the way around. Now the same concept applies to your ally wraiths, but you want to make sure you're not completely destroying your ally jungler's jungle, because that won't be good as well. But for the most part, you can go and get these wraiths because this will really give you a great lead on CS and experience compared to your middle laner. And while the enemy is busy dealing with all the minions on their red turret, you're still getting CS from these wraiths, and it's really, really useful. Once again, being a ranged champion like Orianna, you'll be able to do this a lot more faster and efficiently than someone like Mordekaiser, who is melee. Leashing is a very important concept for any middle laner to understand, and it really helps your jungler out a lot. So the first part of leashing is usually you help them with the wolves or the wraiths. So in this case, it's going to be the wolves. You go to the wolves and you pretty much just help them attack them and kill them faster. You want to make sure the jungler is the first one to attack them though, because the wolves will be just running around and it'll be a lot more hectic to kill them. Now, once the blue buff or the red buff spawns at 155 in the game, you want to be the one to attack it. You pretty much leash it. And the blue buff or the red buff is busy chasing you around while the jungler and even maybe the AD carry or top laner, whoever's helping them with the blue or red buff, will get free hits onto it before the blue or red buff decides to turn on them. It's the same concept. This time it's with the red buff and the race. So as you can see, Mundo is starting the race and I am helping him auto-attacking and maybe even putting a trap down. And here with Nidalee, you can do it a little differently. I just put on my W and my W will actually do the first hit and leash it, but it's the same concept as if you were standing there and you were to auto-attack it with any other champion, like maybe TF or Orianna with her ball. But that's pretty much how you leash the buffs. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that tips video. Please check out the previous one where I talk about the timers and the effects you get from destroying inhibitors and all that good stuff. Also, check out my Let's Play Normals with Kha'Zix where I play with also Colby Cheese, and it's a really cool and funny game that I know you guys will enjoy. As always, please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace!